Well, Joe Biden's winning again. Unfortunately, he's winning. He's picked up. He won 5 out of 6 states, I believe, on Tuesday. Won big on Super Tuesday, and now that he's winning again, he's back on his high horse, which means he's back to his old tricks, insulting voters, threatening them, talking down to voters, and threatening to fight them. This man does not have the temperament to be president. Even if he wasn't so old and senile and didn't know what state he's in, and basically borderline dementia, even if he wasn't like that, he still would be the type of guy that would go around and threaten voters and talk down to them. That, to me, shows that he doesn't have the temperament to be president. What's he going to do? Fist fight other world leaders? I mean, for all the talk of Donald Trump not having the temperament to be president, President Trump has never insulted individual voters or threatened to fight them or threatened to fist fights or forgot what state he's in or forgot what office he's running for. We're all the left-wing analysts, and all the psychology gurus examining Biden's mental well-being. Where are all they? Where are all those people now? How come anyone isn't crying for the 25th Amendment if Biden were to get elected? The double standard here is just so pathetic and so outrageous. Anyone who actually thinks that the left-wing media looks at Joe Biden and Donald Trump the same way has to have their heads examined. So what happened recently was Biden was at a touring an auto worker facility. I think it was Chrysler Fiat in Detroit, and he was there with a bunch of union workers, which means Biden's usually supported by the union, so he thought it was friendly territory. Well, one of the union members, being a working class man, asked about his stance on gun control. Keep in mind that Biden, prior to being vice president, when he was in the Senate for 36 years, was a champion of gun control. He was actually one of the people that fought, one of the leading Democrats to fight for gun control. That was actually one of his niches. One of his specialties was fighting for gun control. So he was a gun grabber long before he was vice president. And so someone asked him about what. And basically, the auto worker and Joe Biden got in a confrontation because the auto worker accused Biden of saying he was going to come after people's guns. To be fair, it wasn't Biden that said this; it was Beto O'Rourke. Biden said he would put Beto O'Rourke in charge of his gun. I don't know how. Maybe put him in charge of the ATF or something. But he said he was going to put Beto O'Rourke in charge of it, and Beto O'Rourke said he was going to take everyone's guns. Well, yeah, granted, that's not the same as Biden saying it, but he did say it, but he did put Beto O'Rourke in charge, so that's his way of kind of saying he agrees with what Beto O'Rourke says. So Biden, being the scruffy guy who likes to pick fist fights and has no temperament at all to be for like dog catcher, much less the president of the United States. Starts getting a confrontation, calls the auto worker full of shit. Well, if anyone is full of shit, it's Biden. Okay, talk about self-projecting. That guy is so full of shit. As I said before, he needs to go back to the nursing home and get his diaper changed because it's piling up real wild and he's definitely full of shit. But but this confrontation went on and Biden threatened to fight the auto worker. He was like, "You want to take us outside?" I think he's one of those people, they all would always go around their adult life. If they didn't get what they wanted, they threatened to settle things outside like big tough guy. But that's, to me, I think is all talk and no action. Most of the people that do that are all talk and no action. You basically have to call their bluff. Joe Biden is a bluffer. I mean, look at the quid pro quo he gave in Ukraine. He basically went over to Ukraine, threatened to hold $1 billion of funding to the Ukraine unless the president of Ukraine did his bid and fire a special prosecutor. That special prosecutor just so happened to be looking into a corrupt oil and gas firm that his son would later sit on the board of. Gee, what a coincidence. No corruption there, but you won't hear that from the left-wing media. But the point is, the Ukrainian president was like, well, President Obama said he would give us the money. And Brian was like, well, call him. That right there is when the president of Ukraine should have fucking called Biden's bluff and called Obama. I guarantee Obama probably have no idea what the hell he was talking about. Biden probably was trying to, sleaze his way. Probably didn't have Obama's permission to fire the special prosecutor. He was probably on his own mission. Guaranteed, Obama had no idea what he was talking about, and Biden was bluffing. Just like he was bluffing when he would threaten the auto worker to go outside. First off, that auto worker could kick his ass. All right? But Joe Biden has been threatening to fight people his whole entire adult life. And I think he does it because people are like, "Oh, fight. Oh, let's not go fight." No, you know what? I think he does that because he knows people ain't going to fight and cower to him. Motherfucker, if he would do that to me, I would take him. I would call his bluff. I would threaten I would take him out on his offer. I would take him outside. I'd even give that motherfucker first punch. Fucking Joe Biden, you want to fight, motherfucker? I'll give you a fucking fight. I'll give you first punch, and then I'll knock you so hard you might actually remember what state you're in for once. Hell, you might actually remember what office you're running for. That's how hard I'll hit you. Fuck you, Joe Biden. You want to fight? Yeah, I'll fucking fight you. But yeah, that auto worker should have called his bluff and threatened to take him outside and probably kicked his ass. First off, the fight spot alone would have ruined his campaign, thank God. Second of all, Biden would have got his ass kicked, which I think would have been hilarious. I would have paid money to see that YouTube video. I mean, Joe, old man gets in a fight with auto worker, gets his ass kicked. Yeah, Joe Biden getting his ass kicked on YouTube would have been awesome. The world would have... You want to talk about embarrassment to our country? My God, the world leader getting into a fist fight? That would be awesome. Especially if he gets his ass kicked. But again, it might actually cure his dementia. He might actually remember where he is for once. But yeah, he seems like one of those people who probably did that his entire life. If someone gets in a fight, he threatened to the Senate campaign rival, his Senate rival in 1984, the Republican, threatened to fight him. He's been threatening to fight people since the 70s, and I guess it's worked because people are like, "Oh no, I don't want to fight," and he gets away with it because he knows they ain't gonna fight. But I think someone needs to call his bluff. It's like, okay, let's go outside. Yeah, again, I wish Joe Biden would fight me. Again, I'd knock him so hard he actually might remember who he is for once. But yeah, again, Joe Biden shouldn't be fighting anyone, especially guys are like 30, 40 years younger than him. I mean, Joe Biden is so old and scruffy. Yeah, Genghis Khan was probably a schoolyard bully. Joe Biden is so old, he probably remembers when Hitler was a little kid and probably beat up on Hitler as a little kid. Joe Biden is not have the demeanor to be president. I mean, if Joe Biden wants to really fight anything, personally, he should try fighting the coronavirus. I would love to see Biden, personally, fight the coronavirus. Let's see how tough he is then.